Hey everyone, Val here, and it's time for another collab. So December is a cookie swap. So this is part of the collabs that we've been doing every month. We did Croctober and November and December's cookie swap. So I want to thank Recipes by Roy. He's the one that's in charge of this one. He's the leader, the boss, I don't know. He's the one that came up with the subject. And so if you know me, you know I'm not a big baker. We don't eat a lot of homemade, because if I make them, then I'm going to eat them. And I prefer not to have a lot of homemade sweets in the house. And I know Roy has some awesome healthy sweet recipes that he has on his channel. So if you want something healthy, go over to Roy's channel, because he's like amazing with the healthier versions of some wonderful desserts and foods. So I haven't got to that point yet. I haven't learned all the tricks to doing that. I hope someday in my retirement I will be able to incorporate some healthier stuff into my food plan, and that maybe that can include desserts. But for now, I try to stay away from baking a whole lot of desserts. I'm not really good at it because I don't do it. But I do have a recipe that everybody loves every winter, and that's my go-to for my dessert if I have to bring a dessert to a party or something. And my work has to have it every Christmas. They say, Val, where's your fudge? So I have to bring my fudge. And this is the simplest fudge you'll ever make. Mine has 2 ingredients in it. All right. So I'm going to do a chocolate and a peanut butter fudge because our party for work is tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and make this today, and then I'll cut it when it cools later this afternoon or when it hardens, and put it in a tin so that I can take it to work. And then if time allows, I'm going to do a cheater cookie recipe because I'm probably going to take that to work too, if it comes out. So for my fudge, all you need is chocolate chips. And I'm going to do peanut butter and chocolate. So I'm going to use peanut butter chips. And my other batch, I'm going to use the chocolate chips, and I just use the semi-sweet chocolate morsels. And this is store brand. You can use store brand. You can use a name brand. Whatever you want to use is fine. And then the second ingredient is sweetened condensed milk. Not evaporated milk. Sweetened condensed milk. And I get this as a fat-free, or I use the sweetened condensed milk regular. It doesn't matter which one you use. They both work. So I usually have both in my house. So all you do is you melt it on the stove, and then put it in a pan, stick it in the refrigerator, let it harden, pop it out, and you're done. And I make this very simple. I line my pans, because you use a square, like 8x8 or 9x9, whatever you want to use. And I line it with aluminum foil. So when I take it out, I flip it over, the aluminum foil peels right off it, cut it up, put it in your serving dish, and you're ready to go. So let's make some fudge. All right, I don't know if I said it or not, but everybody who is participating in this collab will be in the description box below. So please go and check out all of their recipes. Now I need 3 cups of the chips. So I have 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to pour in 1 can of the sweetened condensed milk. Turn my fire on a medium. We don't want to melt these too fast. So we're just going to stir this up. Let me get my bigger spoon here. Stir this up. And we're just gonna let everything melt. Now, if you wanted to put a teaspoon of vanilla in this once it's melted, you could do that. I don't tend to do that. It doesn't seem to make that much of a difference to me. So I want the peanut butter taste. I'm not wanting a vanilla taste. So I'm gonna let this melt a little bit. Probably gonna turn down this fire just a little bit more. There we go. And we're gonna give it time to melt. All right, they're starting to melt. This will be a little sticky, so that's okay. It's supposed to be that way. It is fudge. Do you remember making fudge as a kid? At least I do. I don't know. But my mom used to make the fudge. We used to stir it and stir it and stir it until our arms got tired of stirring. This makes it so much easier. It's almost feel like you're cheating, you know? That's coming along nicely. Still got a few chunks in it. You pretty much want to stay with it and watch it and just keep stirring so you don't see any chunks left in it. And once it's all melted down good, which this is melted now, then it's perfect and it's good to go. You cut off your heat, and I'm going to get the pan and put it in the pan. Pour it in the pan. I mean, how much more easier can this be? Alright, and then I'm just gonna push it into the corners and edges of the pan. Now, if you want it thicker, you can get a smaller pan, but this will be alright. I do it in this pan every year and it comes out fine. Because when you have a party and everybody's bringing a different dessert and you want to try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, all you're going to want is a little piece anyway. So you're not going to want a big piece of something rich like fudge. Alright, there you go. I'm going to cover it with aluminum foil and I am going to put it in the refrigerator to harden. And then we'll come back once it's hardened later this afternoon or tonight and cut this and put it into some nice pans or some pans to take it to work tomorrow. Alright, so let me get this put away and let's start the chocolate fudge. Alright, for the chocolate fudge, I'm going to try to do a double batch because we want some for Steve for home and then I want some for work. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 3 cups per batch. I'm not sure if I've ever done a double batch before. There's just a couple left in there. But I think they'll work out. Alright, so it's going to be 6 cups. Now, I know if you're doing the old-fashioned fudge, you couldn't do a double batch because it wouldn't work out. My mom tried to do it before, it didn't work. And but I think with this type of fudge, we're going to try it out. I think you'll be able to do the double batch just fine. it's just going to take a little bit longer, and you'd still leave it on like a medium low, just so that it doesn't burn. We definitely don't want it to burn on the bottom. We want to make sure we keep a good eye on it. I'm going to put 2 cans. Get this stirred up. Can y'all see that okay? Incorporate all this milk through it good. It's coming along nicely. It's melting up nicely. It is a little bit harder with the double batch in here. I will say that. It's a little bit stiffer to stir here. But it is melting. It's not sticking. So what's your favorite Christmas treat? If you had to pick anything out of the cookie swap or anybody's cookie swap, what cookie is your favorite? Or what Christmas treat is your favorite? Put it in the description box, or put it in the comment section below. Let me know what your favorite is. We go for the fudge. We are fudge people. I like anything with coconut in it too. So if it had coconut in it, it'd be definitely something I would be eating. I can't wait to see what everybody else has come up with for their cookie swap. I'm looking forward to it. So if you've seen the recipes, let me know which one you like the best so I can make sure I go over and check it out. But I'm going to check them all out. But the fudge is almost there. You see it's getting smooth. There's still a few little chunks in there. I'm going to let it go a little bit longer to get all these chunks out. It is definitely very stiff, but almost there. All right, I'm going to get this into the pan. I think it's there. All right, this is going to be a lot thicker, but that's okay. We're going to cut it into smaller pieces. You could make 2 pans instead of 1, but I thought I would try it this way and see what happens. And then I'll just cut smaller pieces. All right, so our fudge is in the refrigerator. It's getting cool. I'm going to do a quick batch of cookies, and I'm going to be using the Pillsbury Funfetti sugar cookie mix, and I do it because it's easy. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna do the cheater method, and I've got my oven preheating to 375, and all this takes is 1 stick of butter, or a half a cup of butter, and I have my half a cup of butter and 1 egg, and I have the 1 egg. Now this comes with the little confetti that's going to be in the cookie mix. But I'm going to add stuff to it because that's how I do. I just take a base and I just make it how I want it to be. So I was going to put white chocolate chips in this because I thought that would be good. But I really wanted pumpkin spice chips. Now I couldn't find them in the store. I looked for them in the store. But I did notice in my bacon thing, I have some left over from last year. So I do have the pumpkin spice flavored Nestle Toll House chips. And I'm going to use these because this is one of the things my boss really likes. When I did the pumpkin spice before, the chips are about this big. I'm going to chop them up a little bit to make smaller chips in the cookies. I don't want big chunks. I don't want like chocolate chunk. I just want it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to take a cup of the chips, or maybe a little more. I think I'm going to use this whole bag, or not the whole bag, but this was a partial bag. So I'll use this partial bag. I have this little chopper. I'm going to put the cup in here. I'm going to chop them just a little bit. I'm not going to make them fine. I'm just going to give it a little bit of the chunks, break the chunks up just a little bit, and I'll be right back. This is how the pumpkin spice chips came out, and I did put a little over a cup in there. There are some chunks, but some of it's a little bit finer. I think that'll be fine to get a little bit of the flavor plus some of the chips. I'm going to put my cup of butter in there. I mean half a cup, I'm sorry. Half a cup of butter. And the butter has to be softened. Of course, you want your butter softened. And then 1 egg. My oven's ready. And then this is the cookie mix. It does have some of the sprinkles in it that you can see. But I'm just gonna pour that all in there. That looks fun and festive. And let's stir it up. This is really fairly easy. And hopefully it'll be good. That looks fun, just looking at it looks fun. With that orange in there, and the different color chips, or sprinkles. All right, these are gonna cook for about 8 to 10 minutes on the cookie sheet. Has anybody seen the pumpkin spice chips out this year? Because I haven't seen them, and that's one of the favorites at work, and I like to be able to take them what they like, because if I make them here, they don't get eaten. So I'm not going to eat the whole batch. My kids don't seem to be big on the sweets, and the grandkids really not big. They like the candy, but they're not really big on cookies and stuff like that. So sweets tend to go to waste at our house. That's why I really don't make them. That's why I enjoy making them for work once or twice a year if I can. All right, there's the cookie dough, ready to go. Now I'm gonna bring my cookie sheets over here, and we're gonna place the cookies onto the cookie sheets about 1 inch to 1.5 inches apart. Well, it says 2 inches apart. All right, so it's saying to put them on ungreased cookie sheets, but I tend to want to put a little grease on my cookie sheets, so I did put a little bit of spray on it. I'm trying not to make them too big, because I know that most people just want to taste them. They don't want a big cookie. I don't know, those might be too big, but we'll go with it. Alright, let me get the rest of these put on the plate. I'll pop it into the oven, and we'll come back and see how the cookies turn out. The first batch of cookies is out. They look wonderful. So I'm going to let these cool, and then I'll put them in the tin for work tomorrow. And we'll wait for the fudge to get done. But they are looking really good. It's been 8 hours. I've worked today. I am done working. My fudge is hard. My hands are washed. My fudge is hard. So I'm going to cut it. So we're going to start with the chocolate. This is the double batch. I'll do this one first just in case there's bits of peanut butter. I don't know of anybody in my office that's allergic to peanuts. So I really don't have to worry about that. But this is easy. I do it this way because the pan cleans up really easy because it's not used at all. Just the aluminum foil. And the aluminum foil will just nicely peel off. If there's any bits of it left, I can pick that out. But it just peels off nicely like that. And then we can just discard it. I'm gonna turn it over. It's a nice piece of fudge right there. And what I do is I take my knife and just cut little chunks off. So I'm gonna try to make an even cut. I don't always cut even. That is hard. That is definitely set. All right, and I will probably do maybe 3 or 4 rows here. Wow, that's hard. So this made a double batch and it worked. This is the first time I've ever tried to do a double batch, but it definitely worked. that is what it's looking like. So I'm gonna cut this up. I'm gonna put it in the tray. I've put some of the cookies in the tray. I'm gonna do half chocolate, half peanut butter. Cover this up, put it aside for work tomorrow, and put some aside for Steve, and I'll be ready to go for our party. Thank you all for hanging out with me, and thank you, Roy, for including me in this collab. I hope you will try the fudge and enjoy the fudge as much as we enjoy it. And the cookies also, if you want to do really simple cookies for the holidays. Thank you all for watching. I know this was a long video. Check out all the participants of this collab in the description box below, and leave me a comment. If you're not subscribed and you want to subscribe to the channel, please feel free to do that also. Y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll catch you on the next collab. Thank you, everybody. Bye now.